It's time for To Be Tuesday, and today, shut the door, we're talking about, door, yeah, shut the door. No, we are talking about Real Genius from 1985, starring Val Kilmer, William Atherton, and Ed Lauter has a cameo in this movie. My arm just cracked. And, yeah, it's about a group of college students, genius college students, trying to come up with this, what is it, 5 megawatt laser. Yeah, that's what it is, a 5 megawatt. What the hell is a gigawatt? No, a megawatt laser. That was the chair. I swear. So I actually didn't expect anything from this movie at all. You know, I'd seen like little, you know, Val Kilmer and his picture, but I hadn't, never seen a movie before. So yeah, I found out some things. Apparently, this was supposed to be in line with one of those raunchy teenage comedies like Revenge of the Nerds or Animal House or Porky's. But when the director came on, this female director, she changed everything. She didn't want to direct one of those. So he became more realistic, hence Real Genius. I will say, I do think of this as a prototype for stuff like Genius, the Disney Channel original movie. And in the case of Val Kilmer's character, Chris Knight, Van Wilder. You know, Chris Knight is a prototype of Van Wilder. He's a college student, lazy, he's smart, he can do the stuff, but he'd rather hang out, relax, and all that stuff. Yeah. And the movie did confuse me at first because we enter this, it's a boardroom where they're giving it's a proposal. They're proposing this laser that fires from the sky and will just incinerate someone anywhere on the planet. I'm sorry. No one should ever make that ever. No. Not even the U.S. should have something that powerful. That is dangerous in the wrong hands. And I'm not even saying we'd be the right hands, depending on who the president is, okay? But, you know, I'm just saying, no. It's not. It blew my mind when I saw it. I'm like, surely this is like a movie they're watching or something. You know, they are watching, but it's something they want to build, and they are using these college kids to do so. So there's this kid, his name is Mitch. He's 15, and you gotta remember that throughout the movie, he is 15. He's 15. This is where that genius comes in. Kid who's younger than he should, already graduated high school, is going to college. I believe Charlie was 13 in Genius, but here he's 15 in Real Genius. So, and he is the smart kid who gets to go to college early. William Atherton. He is a dick, but he still has no dick. He hates popcorn. Did they just say, hey, we need someone who is a complete and total dick for this movie? Cast William Atherton. Between here and Die Hard and Ghostbusters, he was playing that role, buddy. Yeah. He was playing that kind of role, like, you know. And even after Ghostbusters, he said he didn't like playing that role. But both this and Die Hard and Die Hard 2 came out after Ghostbusters. And he's come back to play that role. Although I'm assuming he's going to be a bit different with the role. I guess. I don't know. I've not seen a new Ghostbusters movie. I don't know. People need to stop hating on it. And, you know, well, you can't say that. You haven't seen the movie. I can say that because the people that hate on it are just hating on it to hate on it. It's the people who did not like the last one So they're still going to see it so they can get the negative reviews out there. And that's the big question. People are like, well, if you don't like a movie, why do you go and see it? If you know you're not going to like the movie. Like, if you didn't like the last one, why are you going to this one? You know you're not going to like it. So that they can put out their negative reviews. And people out there, some people will call them idiots, will read those bad reviews and say, oh, they didn't like it, I'm not going to like it. No, absolutely go and check it out. People wonder why box office isn't as big. It's because of assholes like those people who already think the movie's going to suck. So they're going with the negative view and shit all over movies. And then they go out there, they give their negative reviews. People who think that these people are credible will read or watch these reviews. And like, oh, they didn't like it, I'm not gonna go watch it. No, you need to go, if you have a small inkling of interest before you went and watch these assholes' videos, go watch the movie. Go pay to see the movie. We need to keep theaters alive. We need to do that. I got off on a tangent again, didn't I? How did that even... William Atherton, Ghostbusters. Anyway, so William Atherton is this government guy. He's not, I don't think he's even, maybe he's the dean of the students. Is he the dean? He's a professor there, I think. He teaches a class. I don't know. And he brings in Mitch to help finish this laser because it's not getting done with Chris because he's laid back, you know. And so, of course, Mitch is rooming with Chris. And we get this running gag that I don't think they let run long enough. Is there's this guy played by John Grease. You may know as he was in the Welcome to Fright Night Part 2. The part two from the 80s, not the part 2 from that was actually another remake. But no, just he was in Fright Night Part 2. He was the Evil Ed substitute because they didn't get the actor to play Evil Ed to come back. But anyway, he's in this. He was also Benjamin Lyons' dad on Lost. That's probably what you know him mostly from. But he shows up here. He just walks into this closet, and when Mitch goes to open it up, he's gone. And I felt like they should have done it longer than they did. Because once Mitch figures out what is going on, the character is absent from the film until we need him again. Whereas, I don't know, it's kind of confusing, you know. But Mitch tries to tell him, hey, there's some guy that goes in the closet. You know, I don't know. You know, he goes and looks. You know, so they're trying to design this laser, and this is where I get the whole Van Wilder thing for Val Kilmer's character Chris Knight. He's laid back. He wants to party. He wants to just, you know. But you got these nerds, we'll call them nerds, led by Kent, who I say is just like the TA in Van Wilder. Because he's the, you know, he gets an inkling of something's going on. He was talking in the hallway again. Anyway, the interesting thing is, like, Ick is his name. Ick is the character's name. He creates this ice that won't turn to liquid when it melts. It'll actually turn into a gas and dissipate. So there's no puddle. Because, like, who's going to clean it up? Because, oh, it's actually, you don't need to clean it up. It'll turn into gas, which... that would be something for the rain. Eventually, rain does evaporate, but, you know, that... I don't know. What if, like, we had mop water that did that, right? It put it in the soap. We do that, we mop, and then it... after, like, 5 minutes on the floor, it just evaporates and dries. Quick drying water. Quick drying mop water. That's what we need. Right? And then we don't have to use a dry mop. You know? And you don't have to worry about those jerks that walk over your freshly mopped floor. Because they'll be dry. Right? I speak from a place where I've dealt with that before. Experience with that. Anyway, so yeah, it's this ice. It's and I'm blown away watching this. How did you do that in 1985? Science wasn't there. No, even for this device they want to make, the science wouldn't be there. A 5 megawatt laser. Of course, every time that they get diverted from this, Allerton gets really pissed. And yeah, so he holds a meeting with. There's several times that he brings Chris over, and this is where we find out he doesn't like popcorn. Because what's that smell? Is that popcorn? I detest popcorn. Do you also detest the fun? Because that seems what it is. Yeah, what it is. There's also this character of Jordan, who is kind of a love interest for Mitch. Yeah, I know Mitch is 15. That's what I'm saying. This girl is regular college age girl, which would be about 19. It's a 6-year or 4-year gap. I know math. It's a 4-year gap. And he's technically underage. Just saying. But this is where we get the first. So, he set up this laser. They do set up the laser to refract the light, which leads them to this gymnasium, or whatever it is, where they are having a party thing. It says tanning party or something, but you can't tan inside, I don't know. And this is where we get the first hint of the movie's soundtrack, and it is awesome. You get, first song popping up is Don Henley. I had it for a second. It's a song by Don Henley, that's what I know. That's all I know. Hold on. Mute. Don Henley. Go. Go! I searched for it on here, so let's see. Oh, great. It didn't stay. Did I listen to the song? It's gonna bug me. No, of course I didn't. Search. Don Henley. What I keep forgetting was the lead singer of the Eagles. Don Henley. No, don't look under the bed. Do the H. Don Henley. Last sports this evening. Well, let me click on this and then I'll run that. The Days of Summer. Boys of Summer. That's right. I can hear it, not that shining star. You got your head thrown back. Sunglasses on, baby. Yeah, that song. But that's not the one I'm thinking of. All she wants to do is dance, dance. Yeah, that song. That's the song I'm thinking of. It's a long way to go, but yeah. So, that song, and then when Allerton shows up because Kent squeals on them, you hear, one night love affair, trying to make like we don't care. We were both waiting waiting for something. It's One Night Love Affair by Bryan Adams. And yeah, having this party, and Chris makes a joke that you wouldn't get away with now. Hell, I don't think you get away with it then. This girl just must be open to these jokes, because he sees this pretty good looking girl in a bikini. She's got a nice body, very developed. Then he comes up to her. She's going to eat a hamburger, and he goes, "Hey, wait, don't eat that. I hear it gives you very large breasts." And he looks down and he goes, "Oh no, it already happened." And she just laughs at him, and they walk out. I'm like, no. You may get slapped in the face if you made that joke. I'm just saying. I know that just. But yeah, then Allerton shows up and yells at them for having this party when they're supposed to be working on the thing, and yells at Mitch. Now, Mitch has fallen in the water because he was helping Jordan with this diving helmet thing that she's making. She's always making stuff. She made him a sweater. He falls in the water, and then he huffs off. The very next scene, he's back in the lab, wearing the same clothes, but they're bone dry. Continuity. It's a thing. Are you telling me he has... Is this like a Dexter from Dexter's Lab thing? He has the exact same outfit. Is he Asperger's? Because some Asperger's people do that. What's his name? Casey? No. There was a character on Degrassi that had Asperger's that did that. I don't know. But, yeah. But Chris talks to him and says, hey, you got to lay back. And he'd be like, this guy I know, Laszlo. Laszlo, he had too much. He went nuts. And now he works in the basement of this building. Now, before this, I did not spoil this part before, but now I have. Before this, he figures out that this guy, he keeps seeing going to the closet, is working, living underneath this building. He doesn't go anywhere at that point. He just sees it and doesn't mention it to anyone. That's Laszlo. John Grease's character, Laszlo. And, yeah. So, they do end up getting the laser to work, but then Kent sabotages it. And so, like, at one point, Atherton had enough of Chris and says, you know what? I'm going to flunk you. Doesn't matter what you do, I'm going to flunk you. I had enough of you, you're lazy, I'm going to flunk you. You're done. And so he's done, and that's when, you know, Mitch is like, come on, you give me that speech. We got to keep going. You got to keep going. It doesn't matter what he says. We got to keep going. So they do it. They do fix it, and that's when Kent messes with it. But then he's after, I think it's after this that he, you know, he's like, he comes up with an idea, and they get it to work, right? Unfortunately, yes. Before this, though, before they figure it out, Laszlo shows up and says he's entering this contest. It's a Fritos or something, or Dorito, something contest that he's entering in. It's important, I guess. And then he leaves, and he comes back after they fixed it, and he comes in and he says, "Oh, you know, I can help you make it to 10." And he's like, "Oh, what do you need that for? What would you need with a 5? What we think they're gonna use it for?" And he's like, "What? Yeah, it's just." And they come to realize if they set it up, they could set it to take out an individual. It only lasts for a certain amount, just quick, you know. So they realize they have to sabotage it. So, in the most goofiest way possible, they convince, there's like a radio transceiver in Kent's braces, which if you're 19 or over still with braces, I don't know what your problem is. Those are for kids, man. That's the way I see it, anyway. I don't know. But, so, they tap into the radio waves in his braces and makes Kent believe that Mitch is the voice of God. They make it all deep voice. Kent, this is Jesus. And they make him tell him what they're going to do with the thing and what it is. And so it's kind of a weird ending to me. They use the laser, focusing it on Atherton's house, or Hathaway's house. Hathaway's a character, William Atherton, whatever. Where they have a bunch of popcorn just sitting there, and they use the laser to pop all the popcorn, which bursts the house open, which has been myth busted. Cannot happen that way. I'm just saying. It's a movie. We don't need to know whether stuff in the movie could actually happen, but you kind of think, oh no, it can't happen. But it did happen. Hey, it was me who stole my dad's keys. Wait, no, that's the wrong movie. Anyway, yeah. And then everyone's all happy afterwards, even though this accomplished nothing. Well, the laser does explode, I guess. Because they used it. I think it's because they used it too long. on the popcorn, and it blows up, so they can't use it, I guess. And we end the movie with "Everybody Wants to Rule the World." Did I say the soundtrack was pretty good? But there's also, in this scene, everyone's all happy. Ezzo shows up in a Winnebago and says that he's getting married to this girl. Is it Allerton's daughter? Is that who it is? Or is it another character? It's a character named Sherry. I don't remember her. But they get married, and he won the contest. He got whatever, like 30 point something of the prizes, and so they're taking off. And then they're all happy, and Mitch puts his arm around a 19-year-old woman that he's been hitting on. It's not legal, Mitch. Take your arm off her. For me, it'd be illegal now, but like, she's old enough to be my mother now. Yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's how it ends with the song, and yeah, I'm gonna say it's pretty good. This was a good watch. I liked it. So yeah, it's 80s. You know what other movie came out the same year? Well, the other movies that both came out the same year, like Breakfast Club, but also Weird Science, which came out 1 week before this. Yeah, 1 week before. Yep. Science in 85, I guess. But 85, I think, was a good year for movies and music, in my opinion. But, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Real Genius? Like, comments below, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.